Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2019 Baek Battles. To date, we are using this Kyogre Ho-Oh team. If you haven't checked it out, it's linked in the description down below, that team report. But it got second place at the Korean National Championship. And yeah, we got Kyogre, Ho-Oh, Gengar, Ferrothorn, and Incineroar, Tapu Koko. If you haven't checked out the previous episode, again, always highly recommend go check it out. It was a pretty good episode overall. This team showcasing a lot of its strong points, and hopefully we get to continue on. And hopefully we can continue learning about this team, because this team, I'm kind of liking it. I really do. I do think it's really weak to Ogre, though. That's like the one thing I don't like about the team. It's really weak to Ogre. We have Koko and we have Ferrothorn, but like, it's really weak to Kyogre otherwise. Like, it doesn't have a switch in. Oh, we got Hirafumi's team. And we kind of just faced like a variant of it in the last episode, but this time we are dealing with the Lele, with the Kangaskhan, Necrozma, Salamence, Groudon, and the Umbreon. So how do I want to approach this is the question. Let's see. Ho-Oh is decent because I could Weather Ball trap the Groudon potentially. I think Tapu Koko is a good lead here because if my opponent does lead the Lele, but I do want to save it. I think I just go Ho-Oh, Tapu Koko as a lead again. If Incineroar or Kyogre. I feel like Ferrothorn is supposed to be really good because like the only Pokemon that can really touch Ferrothorn are Groudon. And then Kangaskhan, Salamence can weaken it, but if I intimidate them, they really just don't do too much. I'm not sure my opponent's going to bring the Lele. Like, I'm thinking Necrozma, Groudon, and Lele are going to be brought, and then it has to be one of the Megas, but my opponent could always stall me out with the Umbreon. Because this team doesn't have the best answers against Umbreon either. But I think I'm going to bring those four. Because, like, I just don't see myself really doing too well with the Ferrothorn. I could if I get rid of the Groudon, but I feel like that takes a lot of work, and also I kind of really need Incineroar, I think, because I need to intimidate the Mence. As well as the I need to switch in for psychic type moves. Although Ferrothorn can cover that, it doesn't switch into Groudon well either. And having that intimidate for Groudon can be like a difference between Kyogre surviving or not. So let's see here. It's gonna be Necrozma, Kangaskhan as the lead as we led. What did we lead? Tapu Koko plus we led Tapu Koko plus Ho-Oh, right? Yeah. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. So I don't have Protect on the Ho-Oh, which is actually pretty big. I think my best place to just go Incineroar here and Protect, because I don't see what that really loses me. It doesn't really lose me too much momentum. So I think I will go for that play. I think it's just very safe overall. Yeah, I'll go for that play. Because there's not really like so much my opponent can punish me off. So I think I'll just go Incineroar and intimidate these Pokemon. And let's see what my opponent goes for. Gonna be staying in regular form, Dustmane, okay, which makes sense. Because you're faking out my Ho-Oh, right? Yep, fake on the Ho-Oh slot, and Trick Room does go up. Okay, so Trick Room. I'm guessing that means my opponent's gonna try to bring in Groudon. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna U-turn out the Kangaskhan. I think Necrozma would protect here. I'm not sure if it will, but it's definitely a high possibility, I think. I'm gonna go into Ho-Oh. Because I want to U-turn out, get my Kyogre in if the Groudon's going to come in. We are going to see Kangaskhan switch out into the Groudon, trying to deny a Volt Switch. Like, I think you would protect Necrozma just to try to deny a Volt Switch in either slot. So, Groudon's going to come out, but that's fine. I'm going to be able to get a lot of damage with Origin Pulse the following turn. My opponent doesn't really have a water resist, as you can see. So, that's going to be very big here. Let's see what Necrozma goes for. I just can't imagine my opponent letting me get the free switch right here with Volt Switch. Oh, Necrozma switches out too. Into the Umbreon, okay. So we reveal all four of my opponent's Pokemon. There's no Lele, which is actually kind of nice for my team. We will be able to go Ho-Oh right here. And yeah, this is actually pretty decent. We can U-turn out into our Kyogre. The Ho is annoying since we don't have a cover on our side. We're gonna go Kyogre here. And I do think we just click Origin Pulse into these slots, because like I'm trying to figure out, okay, what can you really do against me? And I feel like my opponent doesn't have the best answers. So I think just Origin Pulsing is fine. We get a lot of damage. The question is what do I do with Ho-Oh? Because if I want to attack the Umbreon, I would go for a... I want to go for Sacred Fire because I want to try to get a burn on Umbreon. But since we can't go for Sacred Fire if we're attacking with Kyogre... The Snarl is coming out, right? It might be better just to switch out the Kyogre. Actually, it might be better to switch out the Kyogre because you're not attacking with Groudon in this spot, I think. I'd rather just Sacred Fire and try to get damage on whatever comes in for the Groudon. Like, potentially the Kangaskhan or Dustmane. I guess Groudon could theoretically protect, but we get a free Intimidate off into the Groudon, which is fine. But I don't think it's too bad. So let's see what my opponent's going to do. Because I'll switch out here into my Incineroar. My Kyogre switches out first, but we had no speed on this Kyogre. I think the Groudon will have a little bit of speed, which is actually pretty important for how we handle the future turns. Let's see. Oh no, he just went for helping him Blades, it looks like. So I could have just went for like Protect Weather Ball if I wanted to. Ah, that's unfortunate. We will see that Precipice Blades. Yes, I lose Incineroar for no reason, which is not good. Yeah. That is not good. I was really not expecting that play. And we Sacred Fire into that slot, which is not good. Okay. Oh, was not expecting that. Because I was thinking maybe switching Instant into the Hollow slot and just Origin Pulsing, which would have been better. We get to bring out our Kyogre. There's no way you're making that play again. How many turns of... how many turns do we have? 2 turns of Trick Room, okay. The question is, can I bring down the Umbreon? I think it's possible, but it's going to be really tough, I think. I think I'm going to Water Spout here. And Brave Bird the Groudon? Okay, you're not going for Helping Hand here, so I think you're going to... I think Spout is a play in Brave Birding that slot. I don't know if Umbreon protects or not, but we'll find out. I don't think you should. Yeah, Groudon's going to switch out. Necrozma, I'm assuming. Yeah. So I can't exactly Sacred Fire into Rain here. That's what I expected the last turn. Unfortunate. And Snarl is going to come out. Let's hit my Pokemon for some okay damage. I guess we're not in a bad spot, though. Like, this is definitely not the ideal spot, but it's not a bad spot. We'll go for the Water Spout, get some chip. Oh, we crit the Umbreon, don't we? Yeah, we crit the Umbreon, which is nice. Which is very nice. Brings it down to Citrus Berry. We're able to get a Brave Bird off. Weaken in Necrozma. Okay, it's not too bad. Wow, that almost actually knocked out the Necrozma. I do want to Tailwind up. I think Tailwind is the best play. And just go Tapu Koko. Yeah. I'm going to Tailwind here. Because I think Groudon might come back in and Moonlight's going to come out. I just can't really see a position where you just stay in with Necrozma and just attack here with like Earth Power. A Snarl is fine for my team. Yeah, but Necrozma is going to switch out. We are going to see the Groudon here, which is fine. I'm guessing it's going to be another Snarl, which is... Or maybe a potential foul play in a Ho-Oh just for the damage, which I could respect. But I think it's Moonlight here. I think it'd very much be Moonlight. Yeah. Yeah. Which means I could knock out the Umbreon potentially if I want to with the Z Twinkle Tackle, since I do have that option with me. I could also go for a Weather Ball in the Groudon, which is definitely a possibility. I think I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch, though, into the Umbreon, and I am going to go for the Weather Ball attempt. Even if we're at -1, I think we should be able to knock out the Groudon at the range it's at. I think Groudon might try to stay in and go for Precipice Blades if we don't expect a Weather Ball. Yes, my opponent did. Awesome. So trying to catch the Kyogre on the switch, which I am switching, but this Ho-Oh has something for that Groudon specifically, which is beautiful, by the way. Absolutely stunning. As we're going to go into Kyogre and get a Weather Ball off, and hopefully this Groudon isn't bulky enough to somehow survive a Rain Boosted Weather Ball. So, bring in the Kyogre. Hopefully this knocks out the Groudon. Weather Ball? Knocks out the Groudon. Alright, that's really good. Okay, sweet. Knocking out the Groudon's huge, like absolutely huge here. We're going to see the Kangaskhan come back in and probably go for Fake Out and like a Snarl combination. I'm going to go for a Spout here since all I need is try to get some damage on the Kangaskhan and put it in range of Tapu Koko, I think. Like, I think that's my game plan overall, and my opponent might try to overcapitalize and attack my Ho-Oh. But then again, Kangaskhan's don't really run Protect. I still have an extra turn of Tailwind. It might be better just not to take a Snarl so I can Water Spout the following turn. So I'm going to go for the Brave Bird here into the Kangaskhan. And protects Ogre. I think it's a very safe play overall. There's not really much my opponent can do to punish me because even if you do somehow, like next turn I get to click Water Spout and Gleam, and like what can you do to stop that? If you are somehow able to knock out the Ho, like if Double Edge puts me out of barrier range and Foul Play knocks out. And if not, I just Brave Bird Water Spout the Kangaskhan afterward. So let's see. Kyogre will protect. And okay, so I think my opponent tried to capitalize, yeah, and went for the double edge. So I could have just spouted, but I think it's still a fine, safe play because I don't lose too much here. Nice damage on the Kangaskhan, and double edge should put it in range of Dazzling Gleam, but it goes into Kyogre instead. Okay, and Snarl. Okay. Next turn, Brave Bird into Water Spout should knock out the Umbreon at the range of that, and I should be able to seal up the game afterward. Yep. So we go for Water Spout. And we go for the Brave Bird. That should be able to finish off the Umbreon. Sucker Punch actually being revealed here. Okay. Going for the last ditch effort doesn't really do much to Kyogre because this is a very defensive Kyogre. A lot of physical defense investment. Brave Bird's going to come out into Umbreon. Let's see if the Umbreon can survive the Water Spout afterward. Doesn't look like it. Wow, that Brave Bird actually did a lot more than I expected because the Umbreon on Hirafumi's team was super physically defensive. We are able to knock out both Pokemon, and that will secure the game. I don't think the critical hit on Kangaskhan matters. It was at 50%, and we were at 75% with our Water Spout in the rain. Tailwind peters out, but Necrozma can't do anything. So clutch Weather Ball. This Weather Ball Kyogre is putting in all the work right now. It is putting in all the work right now. As we're going to be able to go for a Water Spout here and a Brave Bird and secure the game. Or I want to go for Weather Ball. I know my opponent's going to forfeit probably. I want to go for Weather Ball if my opponent lets me. You know, just got to go for it. Doesn't matter what my opponent really tries to do here. Match is going to be forfeited because my opponent can't really touch my team. And that is going to be the game. Sweet. Able to finish off the game. Umbreon, yeah, tried to stall me out, but like Kyogre, luckily is just doing so much damage to Umbreon. Umbreon might be a bulky Pokemon, but it can't really take. I mean, Kyogre is just a monster. It does insane amount of damage to anything on the field. So yeah, and Umbreon doesn't resist Water Spout, so that helps even more. But able to come in clutch. This Weather Ball Ho is just able to put Groudon into really weird positions where it's not really safe, even though you think it might be safe. We got our next opponent from Japan with the team of Kyogre. Okay, so this is like the Kyogre team that Alex and Eric used. This is a hard matchup because we don't have a good Kyogre matchup. Like, we really don't. We do have Tapu Koko, though, which is actually good against my opponent's team. Especially since Farium Z, I think, should knock out Rayquaza. Since it's not Assault Vest. So I'm definitely leaning Tapu Koko here. Ferrothorn's also pretty good. My opponent's forced to bring Kartana, Incineroar, or both, potentially. My opponent's Tapu Koko is really annoying, too. I kind of just want to lead... Do I want to bring the Ho-Oh is the question, because I'm not feeling the Ho-Oh. It only hits one Pokemon, that's the Cortana. It really doesn't do much against my opponent's team otherwise. I'm thinking like Tapu Koko plus Incineroar, Tapu Koko plus Ferrothorn is probably really good here. I'm thinking Ferrothorn, because I don't have to switch into Ogre immediately. Let's see how this is going to go, because I'm not exactly too sure. This matchup is definitely, I think, one of the tougher ones. Ray Ogre is definitely really hard for this team to handle. His best ways to handle Ray is by Willising the Rayquaza or by going for the Z move with Tapu Koko, but otherwise, just really struggles against Ray. Ray just puts out so much damage against my team. We do have a Fizz Def Ogre, which is nice, but like otherwise, it's really hard to maneuver around the Rayquaza. We will lead Tapu Koko plus Ferrothorn here against Tapu Koko plus Kyogre, so we're in a pretty decent spot right now. Yeah, not too bad, but it's not exactly that great here. The Kyogre is going to go for its primal reversion right here, but we don't have switches, which is a big problem. Like, I have to play aggressive here because I feel like I lose if I play safe. Like, if like Incineroar comes out and Kyogre protects, I'm in a weird spot. I think I'm gonna just Volt Switch and Leech Seed the Kyogre slot, expecting an instant switch. Because if I target Kyogre and it protects, I'm in a really bad spot turn 1. I don't have really best ways to get momentum, I feel like. But now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I should just get into the Kyogre slot, but it looks like it is going to be Switch. It is going to be Incineroar. Show me a Protect, and this turn works out just fine, I think. This turn will work out just fine. But even if it doesn't, I Volt Switch in my own Ogre, and I don't take too much damage, which is thankful. But yeah, it is Protect. Okay. So the turn 1 pays off perfectly. We're able to get Volt Switch off. We get some chip damage into the Incineroar, which puts in range of Origin Pulse, even outside of the rain if Airlock comes in to play. We go Kyogre here. And Fizz Def Kyogre is going to be really good in this matchup. Like, Fizz Def Kyogre puts in a ton of work against my opponent. And you had to bring Ray, right? So I'm pretty sure we confirmed all 4 Pokemon. I just can't see you not bring Ray in this game, because it just does so much damage to my team. Unless he brought Kartana. But even if he brought Kartana, I think it's fine for my team. So we'll Leech Seed the Incineroar. Okay, now we just go for the Water Spout option, and I guess we just Gyro Ball. I think I'm just gonna Gyro Ball the Kyogre slot, anticipating a fake out from the Incineroar into Kyogre and a switch here to try and get positioning. I think maybe the Koko will come in, which is why I want to Gyro Ball for immediate damage. So let's see what my opponent's gonna do. Oh, Incineroar is actually going to switch on instead. Is that Rayquaza? Yeah, okay. But what's Kyogre doing? Is it a double switch? Because I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, it's just a Scald. Okay. Into Kyogre. Oh, I could have Ice Beam potentially, but I don't think I would have made an Ice Beam play. A Water Spout's still going to do a hefty amount to Rayquaza, though, so that's fine. Yeah, that's still a decent amount to both Pokemon. And Gyro Ball will come out into the Kyogre, so that's pretty good here. I think my best play is just to Ice Beam the Rayquaza. Go Incineroar. His Airlock's activated, so I won't go down to a single Scald. I think it's just better to go for it. I also don't want to risk like overheat coming out from the Ray in case my opponent changes set, so I'd rather go for the Ice Beam right here and get Intimidate onto that Rayquaza. Because that Rayquaza gonna be a very scary Pokemon to deal with. So we'll bring in Incineroar, get that Intimidate off. Swords Dance is literally the thing I'm scared about, which I think is very likely here. We're gonna see both Pokemon stay in. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Scald in an instant, but once again, I'm okay with it. If it's Dragon Sand, it's probably the best case scenario because I'll be able to Revenge KO the Rayquaza. I can't tell if that's Assault Vest though. That's like the one thing. It might be Assault Vest. Because like that Origin Pulse just did nothing. But it is SD, okay. Which is fine. And probably a Scald into the oh, it's a Spout, okay. So my opponent gets more chip damage into the Ogre, which is actually annoying. Puts me just in range for my berry, so that's actually very nice. Let's see. Ice Beam the Ray. Puts in barrier range, which is bad. Oh, putting in barrier range was bad. I was hoping it would be just above barrier range, but now we're in a pickle. We're in a very big pickle. I think Farafron has to come out here because I'm gonna need another Intimidate into the Ray most likely. Yeah, this is looking very rough right now. We'll bring out Farafron. I'm hoping my opponent doesn't go for the aggressive Dragon Scent or another Sword Stance. It's a Protect, which is good here because that's definitely better than a Dragon Scent into my Kyogre here. We'll protect our Kyogre here. As a Water Spout going to come out for my opponent once again, which is fine. I think I can save my... I could save both my Pokemon, I think, by going for a Gyro Ball here into the Ray. Because if you Dragon Scent my Kyogre, the problem is you might go for another Swords Dance. If you go for another Swords Dance, I'm in a lot of trouble, but I think I gotta go for the Gyro Ball here. I just can't risk my Kyogre getting knocked out, because I'm gonna need Kyogre. We're gonna see the switch in Instant, which is a good play for my opponent. I don't know what he's going for, though. If it's a Dragon Scent, this is actually pretty good for me, I think. If it's not, it's an awkward spot. So let's see. Ooh, this could be a very big turn right here, as we are going to get Instant in once again. How fast is this Instant too? We don't know. Let's see. Okay, it's just Dragon Scent. That's pretty good. I could have just switched into Ogre and went for an Ice Beam though. I could have switched in Pharaoh again, but yeah, it's fine. Instant survives, which is actually pretty nice. And we are going to be able to get Gyro Ball off into the Rayquaza. Okay. That's a good chip. And the Rayquaza's at neutral, which is very big here. My opponent hasn't seen what kind of speed I am on the Instant. The original team I know my opponent had slow. I'm going to go for the Fake Out right here. And the big question is what do I do afterward? I kind of want to go Tapu Koko. Or should I just go Ogre? Ogre's kind of safe. I feel like my opponent doesn't Flare Blitz here. I think you U-turn if anything. So it might be better just to fake out the Instant slot and Gyro Ball. The reason is Ray might not protect here. But Ray switches out instead, which is fine too, because it's not like anything too big. Kyogre gonna come out, which is fine. Okay. That means he didn't Flare Blitz me. You either faked out or U-turned, which is fine. Because as long as the Ray's not set up, so it knocks out my Koko, that's pretty big. We'll fake out the Instant. And we'll go for the Gyro Ball. Okay. Now I can go my own Ogre. And I'm going to attempt to go for a Power... Did I Leech Seed or Power Whip? Like, I don't KO the Kyogre, I think, with like a -2 Power Whip. I'm at -2, right? I'm -1. I don't think I'd KO though. So I'm just going to Leech Seed. I can get some health back. And I could cover for a Ray switch if my opponent's Kyogre switches an Ray. So we'll bring in Kyogre here. And we'll try to get momentum. I'm pretty sure you're trying to gonna U-turn into Ray. Oh wow, you just attacked. Okay. That's not what I anticipated, but it's still fine. We're in a decent spot still. It is U-turn once again into that slot. Which is fine, because we're weakening everything for the Tapu Koko sweep. Like, we're aiming for the Tapu Koko sweep next to Farafron, I think. And my opponent actually brings out his Tapu Koko, so that's fine. So we're going to Elite Seed here. Get some chip. Okay. Power It would have been nice, but I think this is fine still, too. Getting a bit of recovery is always nice for Farafron. Problem is I'm probably going to have to sack Mons. I'm definitely protecting my Ogre here. And I think I just go for a Gyro Ball into the Tapu Koko because I need to try and put this Tapu Koko into range of maybe a Dazzling Gleam for my team. Because I know Kyogre's switching out. I just don't know who, into Ray or Instant. Instant's going to come out, which is fair play. Okay. Let's see what my opponent does. I'm guessing it's going to be a Z move into Kyogre or Volt Switch. Volt Switch. Yeah, into Kyogre, which is perfect. Because I get Gyro Ball chip into the Tapu Koko. Immediate damage in Tapu Koko is more important. Yeah, that's some nice damage. I think it's good to go Tapu Koko here and protect. I'm just worried if you Flare Blitz double up my Kyogre, but we'll find out, I guess. There's also a chance my opponent is going to just try to Volt Switch the Kyogre slot and go into Ray and then Flare Blitz my Ferrothorn. So I think it's just better to go Koko and risk it. Because I don't think like there's a way I don't lose a Mon here. Volt Switch is going to come out, target down my Tapu Koko. Does a good amount. Let's see who's coming up. I'm pretty sure everything on my opponent's team, though, is going to be put in range of Thunderbolt. So if I can call this turn right, I'm actually in a decent spot. Because Thunderbolt should be able to knock out the... Doesn't knock out the Ray, actually, because it Mega Evolves, so it has Delta Stream. Ray is going to come out. I don't think I go down to Extreme Speed, though, which is actually really huge. Flare Blitz. Okay, Tar's Ferrothorn, which is good, which is really good. I'm going to Z-move the Ray slot for sure here. And I'm going to go hard into Ogre, I think. Because that means he can't knock out my Tapu Koko with the Flare Blitz. So, yeah. And if you protect, I get a knockout into that slot. Unless Kyogre comes in, but then it's put in Dazzling Gleam range, so that's fine too. We'll see what my opponent does. I don't think Extreme Speed knocks out Tapu Koko this range. Tapu Koko, pretty good physical defense. So we'll bring in Kyogre here. Ooh, this is going to be really close for the end game. Ray protects, okay. Please knock out to protect. That's what I'm aiming for. Please knock out to protect. Because if we knock out to protect, we're in a very good spot. Also, like, the video is really lagging, so I hope it's not too bad. But yeah, it's slowing down frames on my side too. Twinkle Tackle, please knock out the Ray. Oh, that's so close, but not enough. Oh, but my opponent Flare Blitz instead. Okay. That's actually really huge, because now I get a Thunderbolt off into the Rayquaza slot, and I can Origin Pulse, and Origin Pulse catches every switch. Extreme Speed won't be enough to pick up a KO. Yeah. And I'm not going to Gleam because it might active... Actually, maybe there was no reason not to Gleam. Yeah, actually... Unless Ray switches out into, like, Kyogre. Like, that's the only reason I want a Thunderbolt here. But Gleam and the Origin Pulse might have just finished off the Ray anyway. I think it's better to Gleam. Oh, well. Let's see. Trying to figure out the Extreme Speed, Last Ditch. Okay, so my opponent's going for the Last Ditch effort into Ogre. Doesn't pick up the knockout, so I'm able to knock out the Ray and hopefully land on the instant. That's pretty huge. Ray is going to go down. Alright, nice. We are able to connect and knock out the instant. So it's Ogre and Koko in my opponent's back pocket. And my opponent kind of just threw away all the answers to my Ferrothorn. So I think my opponent just loses. Unless I miss a bunch of attacks. Tapu Koko going to be brought out as well as the Kyogre. Again, I think Ferrothorn just wins. Unless maybe like Freeze or Thunderbolt or Thunder Paras. I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt into Ogre, and I'm just going to go for an Origin Pulse. I wonder if Gleam knocks out my Ogre at this range. Well, it's going to be a Z move. Okay, so my opponent, I think, just Twinkle Tackled with my Coco and went for the speed tie and won it. So, again, I don't think that's, like, bad. Because, again, I have my Pharaoh. And I think Pharaoh should be able to win this game. So, Twinkle Tackle. Into the Coco. Was this the Kyogre Origin Pulse or Scald? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, it was Scald, right? Yeah, it's Scald. Alright. Finished off my Ogre. Not a big deal. I get to bring in Ray. I get to bring in Instant and Pharaoh. And Pharaoh is very healthy. As long as I don't miss my Leech Seed, which is what I'm going to go for, I win the game, I think. Because I'm going to fake out the Coco and go for the Leech Seed here. Since Leech Seed's more accurate than Power Up. Either way, I have to hit a move. But I'd rather hit a Leech Seed. Because Leech Seed's 90 accuracy, while Power Up is 80, I believe. So, actually, it might be 85. I think it's 80. No, that's Hydro Pump. Is Power Up 80 or 85? No, it's 85, actually. Either way, we Leech Seed here. And we fake out the Coco. Probably on the double protect. Which is fine still. Again, it's going to come down to status and me hitting attacks. But as long as I hit the Leech Seed, I should be fine for the game. The Leech Seed. Also, if you freeze, I can get a fall. A burn doesn't really matter too much in this endgame. I'm going to Snarl on a Gleam, I think. I think it's going to be Gleam Ice Beam coming out. Yeah. And luckily we still have the 50% berries. So let us see. It's the Pharaoh. Scald crit won't finish me off, right? My opponent goes for Scald. Okay. Oh, that did a lot more than I thought, actually. That's a crit. My opponent double crit burned me. If I miss, this game gets very problematic, actually. This game gets very problematic. What is going on upstairs? You hear that, right? Okay. But I land the Leech Seed, so this game's over. Nice. Nice. And since my opponent burned me, you can't actually go for like paras to win the game, which is nice. So all I gotta do is hit a Leech Seed in the top of Coco. I wonder if my opponent would Thunderbolt the Ogre just so you deny more Leech Seed recovery, but I don't think you would. My opponent's probably just gonna attack. And then I'm gonna Leech Seed to Coco again. Yeah, there really isn't much my opponent can do at this point of the game. Like, I just protect here. There's no drawback. Volt Switch into Pharaoh. And then Ice Beam. I know you're protecting Coco, but even if you do, I think that's fine. Yeah, because I get recovery from the Ogre regardless. I still can't believe my opponent double crit burned me. Gonna go for the Leech Seed into Coco. I don't know how much gyro will do. Actually, my opponent's gonna go for the miss. It looks like it's gonna go for the Leech Seed miss, which makes sense because I think even if you protect there, it's very hard for you to win the game regardless. Okay, we hit Leech Seeds and that's game. Because my opponent will be stalled out by the time. Electric Terrain's going to end soon as well. And I'm going to have enough recovery to win the game. Even if my opponent KOs his or her own Kyogre, like, it doesn't matter because of the fact that I will have enough recovery thanks to the Tapu Koko being hit by Leech Seed. And then next turn I could Gyro Ball and finish out the Tapu Koko. And the Terrain actually disappears this turn, which is nice. So, yeah, my opponent has no move that can break through the Pharaoh. Maybe it's just going to go for one more attack in case I choke and not protect there and risk crits, but my opponent's going to forfeit here, and that's going to be a good game. So we're able to pick up some very tough wins in today's episode, but I hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2019 Baek Battles. We're able to go 2-0 with this Kyogre Holo team. Once again, if you do want to try out this team alongside me, there is a placement of the team down below in the description, as well as the report on the team, which I'll link. But otherwise, you can check me out on my social media. My size series on my channel is also down below. And if you want to go an extra mile to support me, there is my Patreon page and Twitch channel you can check out down below in the description. But If you want to just support this video, you could always just leave a like down below, share it with your friends, and leave a comment down below. They're all free options, but otherwise, that is pretty much it. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a great day, people. And until we battle again, I'll catch you all later.